Remember back when modern women were threatening us by saying that they were going to go date other women? Well, that one's coming back to bite them since not even the lesbians want anything to do with them. We've got a fun one for you here today from P's World titled Loser Lesbians, a new term coined for women who bring nothing to the table. This one should be hilarious. Let's jump into it.
I dated a loser lesbian and I'm still recovering. So they used to always be like saying that they're better looking than me, more attractive than me or whatever. So some girls would like walk by us and they're like, oh, like those girls just said I'm really hot. Even though I heard no girls speaking about them like at all. But also point out how they're more famous than me, like all the time. Like they would mention, that's why it's because I'm more famous than you. Like it was just like a thing they would mention often enough. Pretty weird. Yes, I was dumb. Everyone gets to be dumb one time in a relationship. Like one relationship, you get to be the dumb one. That's just my opinion. I don't know.
Imagine being so insufferable and awful that nobody, regardless of gender or ideology or whatever, wants anything to do with you. That's honestly pretty impressive.
The lesbian community is a little upset right now because y'all were called fucking losers, okay? And I'm gonna put it into perspective for you guys, right? From both sides. That's what I'm gonna do. Imagine you and your partner together. You're dating a fucking loser. You're dating a loser. No degree, no goals, no trade school, no business, no hobbies. Doesn't know how to cook, doesn't know how to clean, is not self-sufficient, really heavily, is just very codependent on you, right? Imagine you're with someone like that.
It's funny because those very same women would call dudes losers for not being millionaires by their 23rd birthday, and those same women can't even bother to be gainfully employed by the age of 30.
Imagine in today's difficult times, you're the hustler. You're the worker here. You go get the money, you really are on your shit, right? You feel overworked, you feel stressed, you feel tired, you end up in the hospital. You're advised to take a break. Now, being a provider, right? There are certain responsibilities that fall on you. You have to not only think of now, but in the future. God forbid you get sick, you got money on the side to take care of expenses, right? 100% you have that.
And most people have had no problem wearing those shoes in the relationship. The problem is now we're dealing with a relationship dynamic where the provider must do everything and the other party, namely the woman, doesn't even have to exist, right? And then they think that's more than enough of a fair trade.
Now imagine if you weren't in that position. Now you gotta pay your bills, pay your mortgage, pay your rent, pay your car note, pay whatever. And your loser-ass partner's over here stressing you in your ear, telling you the bills are all coming up and they can't take care of it because they don't have jack shit skills. They don't know how to work. They don't know how to do nothing. And then on top of that, they don't even know how to cook. So you guys are ordering outside food every single day.
It takes two people to make a relationship work, but if one side is just expecting the other to do all of the work while she does absolutely nothing, then there is no point in having a relationship in the first place.
Things we did to each other, but we still stayed.
Just so y'all know, we don't want our relationship psychoanalyzed or nothing.
Bro, literally, y'all love to be therapists in the comments. Just
literally, like we're good, we're cool.
Like 2 weeks into talking, she did cuss out my mom, but like I don't know, me and my mom aren't that cool, but that was a little bit crazy for just having met me.
When we were at the frats, she gave this guy her Instagram, but she said that it was just because he wanted to be friends and that they liked each other's style.
You can't air out your toxic relationship laundry on TikTok and then tell everybody to not talk about it in the comments section. I mean, that is just ridiculous.
I mean, she told me she like wouldn't marry a girl, but like I don't know, it's a few years strong. We'll just see where it goes. Like, I mean, definitely kind of weird, but I think she changed her mind, hopefully.
She lied to me about her body count for 1 year into a relationship, and she said it was in the 1 digits, but it was actually in the 2 digits. Go.
She was stalking an ex on Instagram off a private account, but like the ex was chopped, so like I didn't know how mad to feel.
What's funny is how this can only be done with two women. If a dude said any of those things, then there would be too much screaming and violence for him to get in a word edgewise.
She stayed reposting about her ex.
All her homegirls got trans run on them, and she swears she's the only one who didn't. I don't know.
She saw her ex for clarity on our fucking 5-day break. But at least she told me, I guess. Like, I don't know.
She like posted a video of her twerking oiled up on her story, but she claimed that it made her feel confident. So I was like, well, I guess I can't not be a feminist.
She used my credit card to buy me a birthday gift.
After hearing all of this nonsense, it wouldn't be surprising in the slightest if these women ended up getting married and then documenting everything that leads up to their inevitable divorce.
So this person is asking, what would I do if my OG husband, my first husband, Brandon, wanted to kiss me? For those of you that don't follow our story, Brandon has a severe brain injury. We are no longer married. I'm his legal guardian. I still care for him, and I'm remarried now. Brandon's very much a part of our family. So what would I do if Brandon leaned in for a kiss? Well, first of all, over the years, I have kissed Brandon many, many times. Would I kiss him on the lips? No, I would not. So if he leaned in for a kiss, I would give him my cheek or my forehead. I often kiss him on his cheek or his forehead.
That's such an oddly specific situation to be in, but you have to give this woman some credit for having strict boundaries when dealing with a man who's suffering from a traumatic brain injury.
I touch him, you know, you see in the videos, I often touch him. I put my arm around him, I'll hold his hand. I think human touch is so important and it's so needed. And Brandon was always a physical touch kind of person, but it wouldn't be right for me to kiss him on the lips. James is incredible, my husband now, and he is so understanding, and he honors the fact that Brandon has a very special place in my heart, and he has no problem with me kissing his cheek, kissing his forehead, you know, hugging him, loving on him, but that would be a boundary that I would not cross. I wouldn't kiss Brandon on the lips. Brandon has often in the past kissed me on the cheek. He used to hold my hand and kiss my hand. In fact, we were at camp a few months ago and I leaned in and he reached over and kissed my shoulder, and it was really sweet. But we keep it at that level. I wouldn't kiss him.
That's an awkward position to be in as that woman's husband. One has to wonder how somebody got into that position in the first place. It's difficult to know what's appropriate or not in that oddly specific circumstance.
Hi, so this is my last video. It's Monday, September 22nd. Sorry I sound like this. I've been crying all morning, just so excited to leave this place and be raptured. My family and I, we've just like called out of school, called out of work. We're just waiting around. We're all too nervous to even go number 2 because we, you know, you just don't know when it's going to happen. So we don't want to be on the toilet. That would be pretty silly. If you're seeing this and you're still here, I'm so sorry that you didn't make it.
You have to have a lot of time on your hands if your biggest worry in life is whether or not you need to take a dump when the rapture happens. And if that is your biggest worry during the actual rapture, then your priorities might need some rearranging.
You know, you can try for Jesus. I can try to convince him to come back for you if you decide to be saved, but yeah, I don't know. At least you're here getting to do all the sins that you wanted to do and be naughty with your fellow sinners. I don't know. Maybe you can make the best out of it. But yeah, goodbye.
She can't appreciate the irony of what she's doing. She's bragging about being saved, but she's also incredibly arrogant and judgmental in the process, which are two things you shouldn't be doing if you truly are saved, but hey.
Okay, I'm literally about to crash out. So I am super persuadable, and I've been on Rapture Talk for like the past, I don't know, hour. A couple things. First of all, are we not scared? Come on.
You'd think that if you were dealing with the literal Christian rapture, the last thing you'd be is scared, especially if you were devout in your faith and did your best to be a good person. But if she's that scared, then there's probably a pretty big reason why, honestly.
To think that if the rapture is happening, if the rapture is gonna happen in a few days, but they say it's gonna happen, that means I only have a few days left with my kids. Even if the rapture isn't gonna happen, can you imagine? Like, what if you really did only have a few days left with your kids? Oh my gosh, I'm literally crashing out right now. What the fuck, dude?
That fear makes no sense at all. If the rapture happens, that means that she would be able to spend the rest of eternity with her kids. You would think that would make her excited for it to happen.
I posted a video asking, what are we doing to prepare our homes as Christians for the people who are left behind? Did these, and I laminated them, and then I did scriptures that, like, I don't know, kind of elaborate a little bit about what Christianity is and how important it is. And then I did a letter to people, and I'm going to leave it.
So you've probably seen a lot of those videos. I hadn't seen any of these Rapture Talk videos until my friend sent me a video, and now it's all over my For You page. And I'm not trying to be a bitch, but y'all are fucking crazy. That right there, or anyone who talks like that, is dealing with intense religious psychosis. And this is coming from someone who grew up very evangelical Christian. As I've stated previously, I'm no longer Christian, but I obviously remember everything that was told to me back then. I have heard this said so many times, that the end times are coming soon.
It seems almost like every single time something happens in the world, it's a sign of Armageddon, but people are so out of their minds these days that they think we're just about to have a real-life reenactment of the Left Behind book series.
I don't have a lot to add to this conversation, but I will say, from what I remember about learning in church, and what I learned in my Bible classes at church and at school, because yes, I went to a private Christian high school, it was hell. Ironically. Anyways, from what I learned, we're not supposed to know when Jesus comes back. In fact, we're not supposed to expect it at all. We're not supposed to be like fucking doomsday preppers, preparing for Jesus to come back, or pushing the world in that way so that Jesus can come back sooner. You're not God. You can't dictate when Jesus comes back, or how fast he comes back. You can't just put him on 2x speed and expect him to come back on Tuesday, September 23.
Maybe people just want Armageddon to happen just because of how insane the world has become, but it doesn't sound like anyone's getting off that easily. We all have a front row seat to this concert of madness, and the show is just starting. But anyway, guys, we're going to be leaving today's episode there. As always, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are new here. Drop a comment, and I will see you all in the next one. Make sure you take care of yourselves. Peace.